Well, hello again, and a very warm welcome back to another little video. First of all, I'd like to wish all of you a very happy new year. And thank you all for subscribing to my channel over the last year and watching my videos and commenting. I love getting your comments, and I do try and respond to everyone's, but thank you and a very happy new year. And if you're looking at this after the new year, I hope that your year is going well anyway. Before Christmas I was having a great tidy up, and I've got loads of old LP records that I've collected over the years. I have a very eclectic taste in music. I know I post mainly vintage cinema and theatre organ recordings, which I've also collected over the years. But you know, my taste spans from 30s dance band shellac records right up to, you know, quite you know, modern 80s music, and the 60s as well. And you know, ever since I was a child of about 7 or 8, I've been interested in certainly in those days vinyl records, buying LPs and single records. And I used to really enjoy, you know, going and sort of perusing around the record shops of our local town here. You know, I mean, most Woolworths, Boots even. We had a shop here local to us in the town called Predis, which was like a newsagent's and W.H. Smith's type shop, and they had a good record department. And I'd spend many hours looking at the records in these shops, and I was having a tidy up and came across some old LP records, and it really made me smile. And I thought this would be a good video to share, because similar scenario as I see it. Being an oldie, I don't get all these modernism, shall we call them, for want of a better word. Whether that is a word, I don't know, but I'll use it. You know, YouTube, you know, says I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and I'm afraid I don't. I just make what I like when I like, and it's for fun, and that's what it is for me. And there's this word that pops up from time to time, which is clickbait, when somebody puts an image and you click on that, and then the video that you've clicked on is nothing like the image at all. The image is just there to entice you to click and watch some of that video. You know, you could put a scantily clad person, it could be, you know, some great adventure shot, and say when you actually go to the video, it's nothing like that actually, and that's my take of it. And anyway, I was looking at some of these old album covers, particularly from the late 60s and 70s, and there again, particularly the more orchestral and organ ones. And I thought, whoa, you know, whoever thought of doing this, and why did they do this? And I thought, you know, now here's a great example, and I will put this in the video so it's better so you can see it. I mean, obviously you're viewing it from a distance with me holding it up, but this, for instance, is a 1972 recording of the great cinema organist Robinson Cleaver. And on this record he is playing the Granada Tooting, a wonderful building, a wonderful organ. For those that are here that don't know anything about cinema or theatres in the UK, but you'd think, why not put a wonderful, it's a very ornate white and gold Wurlitzer organ console, it's a beautifully interior of this Granada Tooting cinema. Why not put a wonderful picture of that on the, you know, cover of the album? But no, here we have a rather scantily clad young lady sitting in a chair. And I thought, whoa, you know, what were they trying to do here, you know? After all, this is Robinson Cleaver playing a theatre organ or cinema organ in the Granada Tooting. And I thought, well, hang about, this is an early version. You're not clicking on this, I know, but this is a kind of an early version of like clickbait. You know, obviously, I think, and my take on this, and if anybody else has got any thoughts, you know, why this was maybe done was you put this in a pile of vinyl records, say in the easy listening section of the records, or some record shops had organ sections of their own, and you put this in there, and then when somebody comes and, you know, it's probably going to be a man, it's probably going to be an older man, you know, who's interested in this kind of music. Not all the time, I know, and I appreciate that, but probably, particularly in the 1970s, and you know, you look at the front cover as you're scanning through the albums, and you think, oh, and it attracts your attention, and you know, and then you turn it round and say, oh yeah, it's Robinson Cleaver playing the Granada Tooting Wurlitzer. So I think it's there, basically, and I'm just guessing, you know, I can't think any other reason why you would put that sort of picture on the front of an organ record. I mean, Hammond organ records frequently did this, and it wasn't just these smaller companies, I think this is Crystal Records, this one is, but EMI. I was a great fan and bought many records by Harry Stoneham, you know, who played keyboards and played the Hammond organ earlier on, and I mean, he did the music for the Parkinsons, the BBC Parkinson shows, and the BBC Wogan evening chat shows, and I mean, on the Wogan show you actually saw him sitting there with his Yamaha HX1 in those days. But some of his records of the 70s, and I'll put some of these up. When I was a teenager buying these, you know, 14, 15, 16, I thought, whoa, you know, what's this all about? You know, rather than I would have rather seen Harry Stoneham sitting at his Hammond organ at what model it was, and so I could see that. But no, there was some young girl sitting on a motorbike, or laying back on a beach in a bikini. Very bizarre, this period in time of record covers, particularly, say, for a lot of these instrumental and organ records. And the only logical thing I came up with when I started thinking about this, I'd never really given it a lot of thought, but I just thought, you know, it was obviously done to get your attention. You're scanning through records as you used to do. They were all, you know, you'd probably have a group of records, you know, like that, and you had to look through them like that, you know, in the shop, sort of, and obviously, you know, it caught your eye. I mean, there's another one there. That's not quite so bad, but that's Raymond Wallbank, who was the famous electronic Wurlitzer. He played the electronic Wurlitzer on one of the piers in Blackpool. And I mean, why can't we have Raymond with his Wurlitzer? But no, it's Raymond with a girl in a bikini with a nice lolly. You know, now obviously some of these covers we wouldn't think are politically correct or not right, and I don't think they probably are. But obviously things were totally different in the 70s. You know, I mean, I grew up, you know, watching like the likes of some of those comedies from that period, you know, and the likes of Benny Hill, a good example. You know, he'd always have, you know, a clan of beautiful women chasing him at the end of the show, and he had his Hill's Angels, and you know, you always thought that they were put there to entice people, you know, to watch the show. So that's the only thing I can think of, that these album covers, as I say, were done for the sake of catching people's eyes and thinking, oh, you know, I'll have a look at that, and picking it out the pile, and you know, it's quite bizarre, really. So I just picked a few. I mean, you see, there's a classic. There's a Hammond one there, and even I think I've got, what have I got here? No, that's even the great Harold Smart, who was an electronic organist, son of Charles Smart, the theatre organist. And although that's better, and you know, I like that when he's sitting at his organ, but he even needs a young lady sprawled across the top of his his organ. you know, bizarre times, weren't they? And as I say, thankfully we have moved on, and well, of course we don't have vinyl record covers anymore unless you collect them, or you know, you go out and buy them second hand, that is. But it just amused me, and we think, you know, that this modern system on YouTube of calling clickbait, of putting a picture and describing something, and then when you click on it, it's nothing like, you know, the picture was. It's just to entice you to that video, to click on it to get more views. And I'm sure some of these record covers, you know, as I say, the likes of, particularly like this Robinson Cleaver one, were done for solely that purpose, you know, to get more views and looks, and so people pulled them out the pile and had a look at them. And but very strange indeed, I thought, and it made me smile, and you know, a real hark back there to the late 60s and on into the sort of mid 70s. Thankfully, the majority of records were still, you know, what I call normal, and would have a, you know, somebody seated at the console, or a picture of the cinema or the organ or whatever model Hammond it was. But as I say, Harry Stoneham, and as I will, if I haven't done them already, I will put some of his covers up, because there again I used to think, whoa, you know, very strange why you would put a young girl on a motorbike, you know, on the front of a Hammond organ record cover. But there you go, it was the 1970s, and I mean, let's be honest, we did all paint our kitchens bright orange in those days, and have sort of dark green units, and dark green floors, and strange things like that. But nonetheless, wonderful times to live in, and I'm so thankful I grew up in those times. And you know, I'm all for equality, and I think some of this political correctness is right, not all of it, I have to say, far from it. But you know, I'm all for if things are better and make things better for people, for certain. But it just made me smile, and it was more the you know, the laugh factor that I thought that you know, it you know, why on earth would you put a picture like that on the cover of a theatre organ record from the Granada Tooting? But there we go. Perhaps she used to go to the pictures at Tooting. Perhaps she was, you know, perhaps she was in the, well, it wasn't an ABC, it was a Granada. I don't know what, I was an ABC minor in Northampton. I used to go there again at 9 years old in the in the late 60s. I was allowed at 9 to go on a bus on my own with a group of other lads from the primary school. We used to go 6 miles on a local bus into Northampton to the Saturday morning pictures at the ABC, and we were allowed to do that on our own, and then walk down into Northampton and come home on our own. And we didn't have any mobiles, and you know, nothing. Nobody thought, you know, we might even bump into probably many people we knew, so we had to behave while we were walking through the town back home to get the bus home. But we were allowed to do that, and that was great freedom, and you know, wonderful to be able to do that at that age, and to be trusted to do it, you know. But anyway, I digress, and I'm rambling on now. So, yeah, if you've got any thoughts, you know, about this and these album covers, I think there again, I think they're the name for them these days. They call these kind of cheesecake album covers, you know, because they're a bit bizarre. So there again, I'm being an oldie, I'm not sure where that comes from. But anyway, as always, just an amusing little video there to fill a few minutes. And thank you as always for everybody that's subscribed over this last year, and your comments and your likes. I really, really do appreciate it. And if you do want to subscribe, do please think about it. YouTube, keep telling me it does help me. So, you know, the more the merrier, and thank you to everyone that has. And I will see you very shortly with another video. And until then, my very best wishes, and bye for now.